Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of MMO Concept Art. This is Steve. I will be running things tonight, and we are going to start out the evening looking at Wolf's stuff that he brought for us. That's not the right picture, Wolf. You were supposed to have the other one up.
Yeah, well, here's the new one.
It is some of the finest concept art I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean it's not the best drawing, I'll grant you that, but the concept is solid. I think
The sheer
that's
emotion is
right.
it's almost overwhelming.
I think Derek would be proud.
Right, right. And I couldn't have done it without his teaching, which I want to promote. It's
I'll,
really
I'm going to be sure to screenshot this and send that to him with that quote.
right. Um, all right, I do have another one. It's not it's a better drawing, but it's not as good a concept. But, there you go.
Hey, all right.
What?
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
That was an excellent
That's
way to lower our expectations and then
Yes.
smack us in the face.
awesome.
Good job.
I'm all about lowering expectations. I worked so hard on this. I was actually I finished it on Monday, and I've just been really eager to show you guys. Been antsy,
You should
but
be, man. I really like that.
I'd say this is a win, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
this is definitely the the best thing I've done out of my imagination. I mean, I drew I got a reference pose, and I drew that, got that down, and then I looked. I have to thank you, Steve, for mentioning Mass Effect. I looked at other games too, like Titanfall and stuff, but I collected a lot um, of references for that kind of stuff, and I gotta say, Mass Effect is just the best. In my opinion, it's just the best design for
I
uh,
I have to say this.
futuristic.
I have to say this about Mass Effect, and it may well be because I've been forced to watch my son play probably 1,500 hours of Mass Effect. I hate Mass Effect. I hate it. There may not be a game I hate more on this planet than that game,
Wow,
but I cannot deny that their art style is unbelievable.
it is pretty.
Even now,
It's
it's like,
slick.
man, that's really, really good.
It's just slick. It's just like if it. That's the future that I would want things to look like.
Yeah,
It's just it's
it's
nice. It's not, it's not apocalyptic or anything like that. It's just
at least not till the third one.
I haven't played that, but I mean, it's just the style. It's very sleek and just very sexy design. Anyway, I mean, uh, I wasn't really going for the Mass Effect look, but um, but just looking at that, I was able to look at it enough and just kind of have kind of ideas in my mind and kind of play with that. And then I used uh, it's just it's stuff I mean I learned from both um, uh, the Structure of Man videos and the controlled paint stuff and Derek Stevens Derek Stevens just in making shapes and stuff on that. So all that together, and yeah, this is much better than I thought I could do.
Yeah,
so
dude, I am truly. I will say that the minute that popped up, my first thought was, "Damn it! Now I have to learn ZBrush next week."
yeah, yeah. I feel like this is the look. I mean, it's like you can go other ways, but it's like why? It's like for the light armor.
Yeah, that's
It's
really.
really great.
I'm
I
very
really like
impressed.
the asymmetric boots.
Yeah.
It it kind of breaks the silhouette a bit, at least
Yeah,
in the boots. I don't know, but it's really great.
Thanks.
Yeah, good job,
Now,
Wolf.
now the helmet is, I think, one of the weaker points. I like it a lot more with the visor. Without it, it I don't think it's as good. I was getting pretty tired at that point, because I really were. I mean, this was my entire weekend, you know. Um, so I was getting pretty antsy and stuff. So anyway, the actually the perspective is a little off skew, but but just I don't know.
Oh, it's
I'm
fine
not.
for the only thing I'll say about the helmet is it screams pilot to me, and I'm not even sure why.
Yeah, it does. It does kind of. But one thing I like about it is I kind of wanted it. I didn't. I, kind of a little bit of a retro and new combination. It's like not something different than like Halo or Mass Effect or all these things. But
Where they cover the
then
face and whatnot.
yeah, but I mean also just the design. I didn't want it. I wanted to try and do something that wasn't so future, like a little future, but I don't know. But anyway, this is just one helmet, and I assume we'd have eventually have different helmets. But I can keep working on the helmets and try and anybody else can work on the helmets too.
Well,
Try and
I mean, the
come up with
nice thing
something.
is that you didn't do anything so outlandish. I mean, that's a good base. You can
Yeah.
add a
Yeah.
lot to that and keep the base the same.
I kind of like the idea that, you know, maybe as an option you could bring that visor up, like, well, yeah, like the pilots have. They got that deal that just flips up
Yeah.
into
I,
the top of the helmet.
That's
And,
I had oh yeah, oh, like you mean like this? I had actually
yeah,
envisioned it going up and being up here, but yeah, that it could do that as well.
yeah, like up and internal, and then that way it's just a piece of geometry that basically gets hidden.
Well, also I put like little information, like he's looking, like the
Yeah,
visor is getting and all this
yeah, exactly. You could have like
information.
one side running infrared or night vision or whatever.
Yeah, that's very
Uh,
cool. Well done, sir. After weeks of giving you a hard time, you came through at 100%. Good job.
So
hit it
this
out of
is
the
all we
park, huh?
so this is all we have to do then, is just give them a hard time and
and then
Give him a hard time and a template.
and then 5 months later,
No, really. I
it's
mean,
easy.
that's beyond just good artwork. That's very design sensible. I really like that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
And
and
as
this stuff here, it's kind of the theory would be that um, these places would be a little bit more bendable, so it'd help in his movement.
Yeah, more like a
Yeah,
mesh than a.
yeah. So I mean, he could bend because this is the base. I mean, like anything else for like heavier units, tanks and such would have stuff that would build and fasten onto this. And there'd be different helmets and stuff. But
and as
uh,
far as
this is
sorry,
this is this is like the scout look, you know. And the only thing that I add, like, I didn't want to add it now because it was the base look, but I would put little like utility pouches
yeah,
on both sides. But since heavier units would have would this would be like inside other stuff that would be out. You wouldn't have that, but
now as far as the yeah, like the pieces over the thigh and stuff like that, I could see that being an area for like the thigh holster for a bigger sidearm and stuff like that.
yeah, it does look like holsters. I actually was originally intending that to be armor, but
Yeah,
the thing is, I think it can be both.
Yeah.
like it could be armor underneath, and then like have um, a material pocket on the outer side of that. But see, I wanted there to be armor in all the places where like heavier armor where in all the places
All the
where like
joints
the
and
bone was yeah, the
Yeah.
joints, the bone was vulnerable. And
And the
um
last thing you want to do is somebody running around on the field is, crouch down and drive your knee right into a rock. I know from experience that hurts like a son of a gun, so having
yeah,
those there is good.
right. So this, I mean, this you can dive down and not get hurt. So
Yeah.
um
Now,
no, what?
as far as do you have a version of these characters that's like just the underlay as well? Because I love that look.
uh just what's under?
Yeah, yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
No.
that's not too hard to extrapolate though.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, I yeah, I mean, the other thing, it was nice. I had a direction after our last class because we had talked about um, some thing, and we all seemed to agree the kind of wetsuit type thing. But if it just was a pure wetsuit type thing, I was worried about making it look kind of silly or something. So what I did, like this stuff is this is that temperature controlled suit. I kind of think of that as feeling and being like serving the same role as say leather armor would. It's like leather, except it's more like, as far as the strength, it's more like uh, uh, how what's
More like Kevlar?
Kevlar. Yeah, it's more like Kevlar, except way more advanced and less weight. It's lighter, it's future material, so it's stronger and less weight. But you still want heavier things, and these aren't super heavy, but heavier things uh, to take the impact of things.
Yeah,
So
covering vitals and joints.
yeah. Now this stuff, this yellow stuff, when we talked about it being an energy suit and them plugging in. So I was thinking, as you add armor on top onto this, it would plug into these things. They're like USB ports or something, and then they would get their energy from that, and maybe the suit, either it might even be something like it's almost kind of like the Matrix, where it's feeding off like bio. I mean, like it's like
Biomechanical energy.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like humans are the batteries, kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to write it up, but I had an idea while I was walking around on patrol the other night about just a future version of D-Link, except they just call it B-Link, and it's directly related to the underlay that hooks up your armor and all that kind of stuff.
It attaches to the nervous system.
Basically, yeah, not like with jacks or anything, but just like skin contact is enough to have it register, and then it's able to hook up to your HUD and power your displays and all that kind of stuff. And that way, you don't have to worry about running out of batteries.
There you go. Well, yeah, I mean, and in the future that would make sense. It would also be able to send data on, you wouldn't have to be like, God, I need a medic. They'd be like, wow, look at his vitals. We need a medic over there.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of feel that these, or at least could be, desert colors. That's kind of why I chose that, because I mean we were talking about camouflage, and this is kind of what I was thinking, that kind of more this kind of patchy thing. So it's like you're not completely standing uh, out, but not complete camouflage, like we think of you know um, Vietnam or Desert Storm or all that.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to bring Sergio up to date, basically the alpha build will be a MOBA style MMO in a desert environment because
Oh,
everyone felt that that was the easiest one to get out first. That will build from there. So that's why we talk about desert colors and stuff like that. That will be the initial environment. And then
oh,
upcoming,
okay.
we'll be looking at a persistent world with a lot of different environments. But just to actually have that first product out there, the alpha will be a MOBA style combat in a desert environment. So
So you wouldn't have any mobs.
we will artistically, we haven't gotten too far in terms of uh, what the what the other creatures will be and stuff. On the human side, they're probably going to tend to be like robotic units, something like that.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
Wearing bikinis.
And on the Alethian side, like towers will tend to be crystalline things. And then we're considering a couple of the older creature designs for mobs. So it's still up in the air. So you've hopped in at a good time where you can still get a ton of input into what we make. So
Oh, okay.
Uh, this part right here, I was thinking of that more like a it's more like a soft. It's almost like a cloth thing, but like a Kevlar type thing. Like an extra protection thing that kind of goes. Again, so it's not. This isn't like cutting into his neck or anything, and I just thought it looked cool. But I think it's something kind of. It's not hard, and it's not like a plastic hard thing.
I got to tell you, Wolf, I'm really impressed. You've
Me too, actually. But thank you.
you have made up for the last few weeks of me giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
I recognize I'll probably have to start over again, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, this took a lot of work, and so I mean, this isn't something I can pull out every week because that would be all I ever did.
think of how much you learned.
I did learn, but I also got very tired of sitting.
Welcome to my life.
Uh,
My office is now referred to as the cell. Alrighty. Well, we're not. I don't think we're going to be topping that probably tonight. But
oh, before we go to someone else,
all right.
I'll show the new guy. Um, this is what I mean by the robots. I did this, and they gave me a lot of stuff about it.
Yeah, we gave him
Well,
we
They
gave him a
pointed
lot
out
of
it
heck
looked like,
about the apparent lace on it.
yeah, that it looked like under
that's
too
actually
much
what I
underwear.
thought. But
Yeah.
I
So
was
so
thinking if you could customize, imagine this as a sidekick, and you could customize it.
we
Someone did this.
yeah
sexy
we
sidekick.
could make him a humorous sidekick.
Yeah. But so all robots need to wear uh,
Some kind of lace.
a thong and
I can just see a cut scene with somebody going, "What is that?" That's my robot. What the heck? What the heck? Well,
Well,
he's kind of into
Yeah.
drag.
And you know what? I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all until I guess it was Steve that said that. I think, uh,
Well, that's actually pretty common.
and that's all I could see now. I
well,
hate him for it.
Derek
well,
had that drawing of one of the creatures that he drew up to be in like a maid's outfit, and I remember saying that if it knocks on the door and says housekeeping, I'm out. And I think if we have this guy in the game, we should definitely have a scene where he's knocking on a door saying just that.
uh,
But this is good and all, but I think we should go with this. But if you guys would rather do this, I'm okay with that as well.
As much as the action pose really does do it for me, I am gonna have to say that I do like this design a little better.
Oh my goodness. Well, we'll agree to disagree, I guess. Uh, yeah. So I could just send this to you, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead. And
I'm actually I want to post it on my little thread blog thing here on 3D Mouse.
absolutely do that. Yeah, I actually, after months and months of scrimping and saving, I've actually acquired ZBrush this week.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So I will be learning that, and I also
Nice.
got 3D Code, so now I get to compare which one I like better.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see this dude and
All 3D'd up.
yeah, all 3D'd up.
Well, give me some time. I don't even know how to run the program yet. So.
Also, and it can have any kind of head. He doesn't have to have this guy's. It just needed a head. you know.
He's very Captain America. I like him.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the things that kind of hurt on this is like, oh my God, the expectations were already annoying, but now they're just going to be unreasonable.
Yeah, yeah, you did kind of screw yourself. I'm not gonna
Well,
lie.
it's so funny because of the last few weeks I've been trying to explain to you over and over that I'm not a trained fashion design person. I can't, it's just like just coming up with something, out of the book, So I'm not uh, uh, in a position
But
to
see,
have the skill to do that, and
but
then
see
and then I
what
pull this
happened.
off.
Yeah,
And pull
and
this off.
you went, and there are no new ideas. Okay,
Yeah,
everything's already been done. It's just what's your take on a theme. You went
right.
out,
Yeah.
you found a bunch of reference, and you produced this. So yeah, you have
Right.
put yourself in the position of going, I can't do that, and me going, baloney. Yes, you
Right.
can.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a
I
whole
guess. I
bunch of
guess
people
you.
who there's a whole bunch of
What?
people who watch this stream every day, and we all know better now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But. Yeah. I don't know. Let's just say we're both a little right and a little wrong.
We'll leave it at I will continue to have more faith in you than you have in you.
Yeah. Well, like I mean, you saw the thing that I did 2 weeks ago in class, but that was just completely from without looking at reference. That was as good as I can do at least in that amount of time. But
But
yeah,
that's
with reference, I can
that's
add
one
a
of the
lot of work.
that's one of the big secrets. I mean, when
Yeah.
we had that radio show with
Right. Yep.
Tyler Edlin,
Yeah.
hey, the guy does it for a living all day, every day, and he'll be the first to tell you he uses reference.
Right.
Um, the guy I know, Jonas DeRoe, he makes a very comfortable living as a concept artist. He either pulls his own, he travels about 6 months out of the year because he's at the point that they pay him to now, taking photos and pulling reference from other people's work.
Is that? Oh, isn't that the guy who taught the course here?
No, he has
Oh no,
never
that's a
taught
different guy.
here.
Oh,
Um,
that's a different guy.
but yeah, the minute you said that, the guy's name jumped right out of my head. But
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, he does strictly concept art. But he's one of the guys. If you go to cgtextures.com to look for textures,
Hmm.
probably 2,000 or so of the textures on there are his
Hmm.
that he took. He helped them build that up.
Oh,
He's worked with MPC in London. I think he's working with them right now on something. Very high end concept artist. Very very good artist. What he can whip out in 20 minutes blows my mind.
Yeah.
But even he will tell you a lot of times he's grabbing reference to get an idea what he wants to do, and that never ends. Yeah.
That's actually pretty common. I mean, even when I have time, I take at least 10 to 20 minutes just browsing images and collecting them. I mean, it's a really good practice.
Yeah, particularly if you want to be in concept art, you should really never go anywhere without a camera.
Yeah.
It should be with you all the time, not locked up in your cell like I am most days. But
Well, thankfully we also have the internet now, so you can
it,
get all these references. It would be so difficult if we didn't have the internet.
oh
It's
yeah,
not the same.
absolutely.
I feel bad for the generations before that they actually had to go out everywhere. You know,
Yeah,
you need to go to an airport.
the
See what
the
it
internet
looks
was
like.
called the library then, Wolf. I remember it.
Yeah, uh, yeah, me too. But it was limited.
But Sergio's right. It's not the same. A lot of the pictures you take when you're out on your own, if you're hunting on the internet, you don't get the same feeling and the same sense of wonder of the things that
Right,
you were actually looking at.
right.
Yeah,
It's not as inspiring.
yeah, mostly, and down to a technical aspect, the one problem you will run into using reference is scale.
Right, scale is always an issue.
But other than that, yeah, collect reference, watch other people's work. That's pretty much the way to go.
Yeah, this guy's the size of an ant. Did you not get that? I guess I should have had something.
This is some sort of scale reference. Which reminds me, they have a thing on Facebook which I know you're not on, Wolf.
Yeah.
But they post all of their videos to YouTube, and it's a group called Level Up. Did I lose everybody?
No,
Oh,
just for a
it
second.
suddenly went very silent on my end.
Oh,
Um,
It's,
no.
I don't have
Listening. We're
Facebook.
just
So
listening.
okay,
We're just listening, and then you stopped talking.
like even the background noise disappeared. I was like, oh, what happened?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a group on
something went
YouTube called
wrong.
Level Up, and it's a couple of Polish guys that are concept artists, and now Jonas helps them.
Steve, we're still listening.
You should thank you, Wolf.
Okay.
You should go check those guys out. They teach a lot of technique, and they also take by email stuff that people have done that are just starting out and do overpaints on them, and talk about what they're changing and why to make it a better painting.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. So and every time I see it, I think, man, Wolf would really enjoy these. So it reminded me to bring that up tonight. Was Level Up on
You have
YouTube.
to go to Facebook for it, or
No, that I
oh,
they're part of a group on Facebook, but every Sunday,
Level Up? Is it?
every Sunday they do a live session for a couple hours, and they record that, and then it's always up on there on YouTube afterwards. They use
Oh,
YouTube to
cool.
do the live session, so you don't have to.
What,
It was significant for you because you don't have to be part of Facebook to get in on it.
where do they get the pictures from Facebook?
Yeah,
Or,
just people in the Facebook group that send stuff in, or
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they at least some of the videos they list their email, so even on YouTube you would be able to send them a picture and
Uh,
get an overpaint.
cool. Yeah. No, that'd be very helpful.
And then there's also a lot of discussion about things you actually have to do in the business to be in the business. So it really is it's a wonderful thing they're doing, and my hat's
Yeah.
off to Jonas again. Kid's half my age, and I'd give anything to be him. He's an amazing guy. But at any rate, very good job, sir.
Thank you.
Richard, are you at home tonight?
I am at home.
Do you have your pistol loaded up?
I'm working on it right now, actually.
Oh, all right. Then I'm gonna grab your screen.
All right.
Do do do. I'll make you a presenter. Yes. Well, that's weird how it automatically mutes you when I switch you over to that.
Yeah. It it mutes us for him, and then he can hear us before we can hear him, and yeah, it's an irritating thing.
Oh well. Well, you should be up and running,
Gotcha.
sir. Ooh, I get to see topology and everything tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still working on the front of the handle. I'm not really happy with it, but I'm gonna keep working at it until it changes.
Well, that's pretty much the design of my pew pew guy. So it's nice that we're kind of the same wavelength.
My lungs can't take too much laughing tonight, Wolf. Just saying. Uh,
So yeah, I went through and added a silencer.
Cool.
And again, that's geometry you can just hide when you need to. So if you just want the regular pistol, you can go ahead and do that.
very nice.
And I've basically been going through and adding turbo smooth modifiers to all the geometry, and then adding additional seams to sort of crease everything up and sharpen the edges. So you still have the form, but it catches the light better. So like there's a very slight rounding on the end of the silencer. So it's probably going to chop up a bit here because mental ray isn't easy on system resources, but
Are you
I'll,
basing
put a
this
render
off?
here for you.
Are you basing this off of a current gun, or are you making? Are you using that as a reference and making it kind of your own thing?
I just basically took a look at the components of a modern weapon and just drew a bunch of lines on paper. That concept for the pistol that I had a few weeks back, a couple months back, basically served as the outline for it.
But I
So
was just wondering, is this a gun that is now that people would look at it and go, oh, that's a gun that is now, or is this like a gun that hasn't been created?
oh, like is it a derivative design of somebody else's weapon? No.
Yeah. So it's its own unique style.
Yeah, the top
Yeah.
slide doesn't look like any handgun I'm familiar with
Yeah.
per se,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I mean,
like-
they are the same components, but not an existing gun,
That's
Yeah.
right.
basically.
now Richard, down
And-
down at the bottom of the handle in that render, is there some artifacting going on there? Is there something up with the topology, or is it just the way it?
You mean this area here? Or?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, no, that's the area that I'm working on right now because it's not quite working out the way that I'd like it to. So, but I do want to have some element of a protrusion out here, just because that when you're pulling out that weapon, it helps you hold on to it. So
Yeah.
I'd like to keep something like that.
Okay.
And then I haven't done anything with the magazine yet. It's still there as a placeholder, but eventually I'm going to set it up so that it kind of adds to this design. As
Gotcha.
something that, yeah. So it'll have a similar protrusion so that
Like a
well,
like a
functionally
modern
speaking-
one, it actually molds up to it once you slap it in.
yeah, and it's also great like when it's in the pouch. That's what helps you grab onto it and pull it out. So
Very nice. That's coming along very well. You do good work for not having a whole lot of time to throw at this stuff.
well, and yeah, this is my first time doing hard surface modeling. I'm actually quite surprised at how well it's going so far.
Wow. Yeah, exceptional then. I'm very impressed.
So like the trigger guard, I'm still not really happy with that, but it's just there as a placeholder. So I'm probably going to be going in and revising it so that it actually comes directly out of the handle and sort of merges into the bottom half of the receiver.
Very nice. Well done, sir.
Thank you. And let's see here. Still working on the sights themselves for the design, but I threw in some self-illuminated bits to sort of act like the night vision sights that we have on weapons today. Have those glowing tabs to help you aim in the dark.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
like
So I'm setting it up with something similar for that.
What those would those be glowing green spots or something?
Basically, yeah, like they
Like
use, I think it's
LED?
sort of, I think it's phosphorus or something like that. It's like a really
Yeah.
the military wristwatches that glow
Yeah.
in the dark. It's actually a radioactive material, and it's basically the same sort of thing they put on the edges of those sites. And that's
Yeah.
something like that's good for hundreds of years. It doesn't require batteries. It doesn't fail. So
Yeah.
I can't see them getting rid of it.
Well, that looks cool. I'm not familiar with that look for I guess the sights or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, the
So that's
actual
cool.
like the front sight, I like the way that's working, so I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna keep that. The
Oh,
rear
that has
sight
one
is
too, huh?
definitely a work in progress. Yeah, it's smaller, but
Yeah.
visually it also looks different. I mean, we're not doing a first person shooter, so
Right.
you wouldn't see how it applies, but that principle of design, it's one of the things that when you aim down the sights, you've got the two circular sights and then the one post in the middle, and that helps you
Right.
differentiate in the heat of the moment which one is which.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's coming along really well.
Cool. I shall keep working on it.
Outstanding. Yeah, I can't wait to see the high poly to low poly once you get it done. That should be very nice.
And
I was thinking about your grip
this is
too.
the
I think it should be carbon
yeah.
fiber. I think it should be a carbon fiber inset.
Okay. Cool. All
I
right.
like
Yeah, I was
carbon and
basically
fiber,
thinking.
so I have no complaints.
Well, you're made of
That
I
would
one.
come
You're
in
made of
high
one,
for
and you
what?
need the other. So
don't.
Yeah.
Quick question.
I don't know guns.
I'm reading projectile pistol, right? Is
Yeah.
there other type of weaponry?
Um, I am going to be working on like I like the way this is coming along. So once this is finished, I'm going to dive right into a concept I had for some laser type weapons.
Oh,
But the idea is that there'll be a motley mix, so that if somebody prefers to have a projectile type weapon, they have that option. And then if they want an energy weapon, they've got that option too.
okay, okay.
yeah, as we get further down the road, it'll the first the first humans will basically be just military, but the further out the MMO goes, you'll get more like
Adventurers and
border type
outlanders.
people, yeah, that
Yeah.
with cobbled together weapons, and so we wanted to have both
Yeah.
energy and projectile type weapons.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
and there's also like I don't know that the Alethians would know how to do this, but if they generate the equivalent through their crystals of an electromagnetic pulse, I don't see that playing nice with energy weapons. So it's like bullets don't
Right.
care about that stuff. They'll work no matter what. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that has happened in sci-fi before, where somebody had some sort of shielding or something, and then somebody with an old Colt revolver just shot them, and
yeah,
they're like, "What the hell?" It's like, "Well, as a projectile, it can't stop that. It stops energy."
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like
I can see that in gameplay, like having that be a magic shielding that it has a time uh, limit to it, but so as on the human side, you have to consider what kind of gun you want because maybe the energy one would be overall a little more damaging, but it would be much less effective when they're using the energy stuff. So
Yeah,
you
yeah, you
might,
could have situations where you have this awesome energy rifle, and there are some situations where
yeah,
it does nothing. Like,
right.
that's great.
So you kind of
I need a pistol.
yeah,
it's a hassle thing. It's like you want a rusty pistol. You bring that, but yeah,
yeah,
you want
all
something that you're
reliable.
more
Like
screwed with or mess
No,
with.
it's in the
eh,
older it's in the older document, but I even have stuff in there for like shotguns and stuff. It's like it's one of those things that we have the technology. It's not just gonna go away. So it's still gonna be there in a couple hundred years, I think.
Yeah, it'll just
Well, it
how
works.
does it mutate? Maybe a shotgun isn't a bunch of pellets. Maybe the pellets are explosive.
Right.
You know,
It's kind of.
it fires
I mean,
out
if you look
10
at like
yards and then they all explode.
yeah, if you look at like Borderlands, I mean, it shows you that there are guns that are very similar to what we have now, except they have all this. They have either acid stuff or fire or
Yeah,
explosives.
exactly. But there's still things that somebody looks back and goes,
Yeah,
well, I understand that. That's a shotgun. I
right.
understand
It's
that.
still a
That's a sniper
projectile thing.
rifle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also one of those things that you don't necessarily want to get rid of the old stuff because there are times when it's still going to be useful. I wouldn't want to use explosive rounds in a shotgun, for example, if I'm breaching a door and I don't want to worry about inflicting innocent casualties, stuff like that.
Yeah, or personal blowback.
Yeah,
You
Well,
know,
yeah,
if the target's right in front of you and then you get the brunt of the explosion too.
Well, kind of in- interesting uh, thing to think about companies. This is if anybody watches The Walking Dead, the one guy who has the crossbow, uh, that works. It's a silent weapon. It works really,
Yeah,
uh,
Daryl. He's
really well. Yeah,
he's
Daryl.
he's my
It,
favorite.
yeah.
it works really well, and it's you know uh, it's hundreds of years old concept.
Yeah. I was like, what's that phrase? Old tricks are the best tricks. And it's true.
Yep, it often is. All right, Richard. Since we have Sergio here for the first time tonight, do you also happen to have the program you're working on?
Yes. Let me just see here.
You can see I'm on a quest to crash your system. Sergio,
I'm still in the process of working on the shaders, so right now the daytime look is broken, but I'm working on it.
Sergio, this is a project that Richard came up with on his own for us to have daytime nighttime system that runs automatically, that's active
Hmm.
in the game. And so he's been building all the art and all the code for it himself.
Pretty huge task.
I think it was this one. I'm working on a few different ones, as you can tell.
Do you have an inventory system going too?
It was originally like that served as the starting point when I started working on the skybox. I just never got around to renaming the folder. But yeah, I am working on an inventory system that would let us build different weapons of different types, stuff like that.
Oh, you'll have to talk with Nelson. I know that inventory is one of the things he wants to jump on here pretty soon. So
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can do that, and I can send him the code base if he needs it.
cool.
Probably. Well, I
Well,
guarantee you he writes better
I
code.
was going to say need is a strong word with Nelson, but
Come on. If you crash my system, I'll hold you responsible.
I accept that responsibility. I knew I
You
was.
saved recently.
It's Unity. Give it time to think.
There we go. Alright, so I haven't actually put in any code to support this yet, but as you can see, there's now lightning off in the distance.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you really think there's going to be lightning in the future, though? Because
Yeah, because of the planet.
I don't understand future.
So,
Keep going.
just take a look here. Are you guys hearing the music in the stream or no?
No.
No.
Just gonna shut that off so that it isn't in my ears. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Alright, so move the presenter information out of the way here. I've actually got it set up so that it will be influenced by the color as well. So you can choose, an artist might want to choose to have a different colored lightning strike and whatnot. So I put that into the shader.
Very cool.
Rainbow lightning. Can we do that?
Oh, Wolf, what will we do without you, buddy?
Sadly, the code could be made to support that. I wouldn't recommend it. Um, but yeah, like, right now there's the cloud layers and all that kind of stuff that are finally operating as far as
And just
I've got the look that I want for them. But
describe
sorry,
basically
go ahead.
what you built.
Okay, I built a system that's basically a skybox. It's just a cube that it isn't part of the standard skybox system, and there's a separate camera on a separate layer. All it sees is the cube that has the stars on it, and that has a rotation script so that during the nighttime you'll actually see the stars spin overhead, and you've got the moons and stuff like that in the distance. Right now, because of what I've done with the shaders, they're actually rendered in front of that, so I have to fix that. But the idea with this is that as you move over to daytime, sunrise, all that kind of stuff, it loads up a different set of images on a separate box that doesn't rotate, and it gives you the illusion of transitioning over from nighttime to sunrise to midday to sunset.
Cool.
Very nice. Yeah,
And
he's been sending that along, and I've been very impressed every step of the way. He's put a lot of work into this.
So yeah, right now there's some code in there to basically support time warp, so you can have it transition faster or slower depending on your need. And the original idea, oh yeah, this is a little bit offset. Let me just fix that.
Nice violet.
There we go. What's that, sorry?
I just said nice violet light.
Thanks. Yeah, actually, in 3D Studio, I have a scene set up that it basically has 6 cameras that render each side, and the borders are warped. So it basically lets 3D Studio generate a skybox texture that you can use in Unity or whatever program you want. And you can basically have a scene set up that's as complex or as simple as you want. So I have it set up to basically render between midday, sunrise, sunset, and so on.
Very nice. I didn't know you'd added the lightning. I knew it was on the list, but
Yeah, it's just I just threw in the graphics just to get it working. But eventually there will be support for the actual lighting effect and so on and so forth that goes with it. And it actually renders in that skybox area, so it'll always be somewhere off in the distance, wherever that happens to be.
yeah, cool. That is awesome.
And then my next challenge would be to get it to play nice with the clouds, so that if we get sheet lightning, you'll actually have it light up in certain areas.
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done.
So
So
yeah,
there
there are certain things right now that are actually rendering at a different point in the queue, which is why the sun appears to go right through the cloud. So there's a couple of tech issues that I have to fix now that I'm working with shaders, but we'll get there.
Yep, it's coming along well. Alrighty, well, I will let you stop making your computer scream. And Sergio, if you got some stuff, I think we'll grab you, and we'll have a look at that.
Sure.
Give me a second here.
It's doing better than I thought you would.
Yeah, I was just talking to Nelson about replacing my system. I've got Unreal 4, and it runs,
Okay.
but technically I can't run it.
You don't meet the minimum
I
requirements.
I meet everything except the GPU.
Which needs to be what?
Oh, I'd have to go look. I don't even remember, but oh, very nice.
Cool.
Awesome.
I didn't really knew what you had in store already for characters, so I pretty much covered my bases. You have light, light armor, some kind of medium armor, which is actually with these lines is pretty much inexistent. Um, and a heavy. Well, the heavy I didn't do a female version because since it's an armor,
Yeah,
it's pretty much
I guess it really wouldn't matter once the armor's that heavy, huh?
yeah.
I guess these look really really good for the Outlander things. The
The civilians
outskirts.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Or yeah, those things like these designs uh, would be great. I mean, they're like a lot. Some of what I It's similar enough to some of what I've been thinking about for that and what
Yeah,
might take
they've got a bit of
on.
roughness to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's and they have uh, kind of a unique style, and it's just kind of that's
Yeah.
Richard, are you the one that set up the Dropbox?
Yes, I am.
like
Uh,
We need to get Sergio on there.
like
Absolutely. I'll do that right
I,
now.
I feel that heavy there. The guy on the far right. Like I feel like he might have made that armor, or he knows the guy who made that like that suit. Like
Yeah,
it's not something he bought. It's not. There's it's a like almost like a unique thing for him. That kind of thing.
Like,
It's
hey
custom made.
Boris, hey Boris, I need a favor.
Yeah.
the only thing I'm seeing right now that I didn't saw when I did this, is they are all holding a weapon except the heavy guy, which is holding some kind of FM radio.
He's
Well,
calling
he
in
knows
an
nothing can
airstrike.
hurt
There you
him.
go.
He knows nothing can hurt him. He's catching up on his emails.
I'll be there in a sec, guys. Just hang on.
He has a sonic beatbox weapon.
Blow up some mines or something. I'll be there in 10. Okay, Sergio, if you could be so kind as to put your email into the BuzzNet, I will send you an invite.
Sure.
And then that way you'll have access to the Dropbox with all the other art in it. And it's
Okay.
easier than wandering through 3D Buzz trying to find it all.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So that's a mess.
I do have a few environments if you like.
Awesome.
They were for a personal project which will never see the day of light, so pretty much.
That's kind of harsh.
Yeah, you
Nah, the
never
thing
know what
is-
the future will hold.
I don't know. There's some light shining on it now.
Now the thing with this is, I have a story that I lose all the script, and I won't be making that again. So yeah, this is pretty much
Was it
what I had in
was it an
mind at that
animation
time.
you wanted to do, or?
Actually, I was trying to do a simple game,
Oh, okay.
but since I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer, and I will have to learn a lot of things because since I presume I'm pretty much myself. I don't have anyone else. So,
I understand.
I'm in the same boat as you guys.
so these are quick thumbnails.
They are
These
awesome. That is a
Yeah.
great job, dude. That looks really pro.
Yeah, these are like 20 minutes each
Jeez.
because, well, these are actually for what you want to do with the place. I know it has a lake, but I didn't know much more than that. So, yeah, these are well, and this one maybe interest you because I do have a crystal structure here,
Yeah. Oh, dude, that is really good work.
which is
It's awesome, yeah.
actually generating a few composition issues, but yeah, this is around 2 hours.
Very nice.
Oh,
And since this one had composition issues, I started this one. which also has one, but I can resolve. Um,
What's the idea? But
it's more of a tropical.
what's the idea behind the light in the cave? Lava,
That's
fire.
actually it's actually supposed to be a really big bonfire.
Okay.
This one, if I wanted that, I had to lower this because the cave doesn't have an entrance inside, and due to the scale that the ship gives, this is pretty much uh, much more than a bonfire. And so I
You
did
mean
this.
the
I
light?
still,
Yeah, the light almost looks like lava.
yeah, and this one I still have to to put a few darks in there,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
uh, harsh lines like rock
Yeah.
and the such. But it was coming along a bit better.
I like the growth on it too. The vegetation outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty simple to make. It's actually just the round standard brush with some scattering in Photoshop and just variation in the
Yeah. Yeah.
tones.
Yeah.
This one was pretty much all done. The other two with the simple brush and the chalk brush. It's pretty much all I use.
Very nice.
In this one, the only other there is I made a brush with a few photos of trees, and you have that there. But
Now, are you entirely self-taught, Sergio?
pretty much,
Nice.
Good deal.
um,
I heard a collective.
I
God, you
don't.
suck.
I do have the question I ask you about mobs is because I also have a few spots, and
Oh, cool. Yeah, bring them up.
you might use these ones if you want. Especially this one because it reminded me of the Legions I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does.
Huh.
It's good.
Pretty
Yeah,
badass. Yeah.
yeah. Normally I don't work this detail, um, especially in black spots, because this one is supposed to go to um, portfolio. So I want I'm going for a bit more of detail, but normally I just do this, which are pretty simple in comparison.
Yeah, but that's the way it's done. Nice.
It still communicates the idea. Yeah.
Sergio, this is some great work. I'm really happy to have you on board.
Yeah, no kidding.
I see
Wow.
that.
Agreed. Fully agreed.
Well, yeah, I would say that the chainmail glove has just slapped us all, and we're gonna have to step up.
Wait, I
Uh,
did a drawing this month. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I have a whole
you're
month until I
you're
get a film
you're
back
in
again.
you're in the clear this week.
Oh.
Well, you have to have in mind that this is all stuff,
Yeah.
except for the ones I showed before, which are these. Uh, the rest is pretty much old. Maybe not that old, a year or so, but I did it with a lot more time, and
Yeah.
I wasn't. Uh,
Was
I didn't have two shows at the time, so
you, you didn't do this all this week?
Yeah, but yeah, nice work.
of
You have
course.
a very good sense for anatomy and pose. Good job.
Yeah. That's good. Great
Yeah,
choices.
well, this is that's what I was saying with reference. I actually have a bunch, and here I actually have a few packages
Yeah.
from DeviantArt, which are free. Be sure to actually let know the people that made it that you're using them, and let them promote themselves. But yeah, these are great.
Right.
usually when I don't have a reference, I mix and match these ones.
Right.
Nice.
Awesome.
Go back to the 3D Buzz folder,
Yeah,
and what was? Bring up the one right next, just to the right of the one you. Yeah.
this one. I was watching the videos
Holy,
I
and I
knew it was a
saw.
Brock Beast.
that is awesome.
Yeah, actually,
That is wicked.
That is so good.
let me just. I do have reference for this too, but this is directly in the file.
If that doesn't
Right out
say I'm
there.
about to F
Oh my-
you up, I don't know what does.
What?
Yeah, I saw that thumbnail. There is no way that is not a Lethian.
Yeah,
Nice pose on the.
you have
Oh,
the
like hyena
Tasmanian
face.
devil here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, what?
Well, I'm glad you need to look at references too.
Okay, I want this in the
I
game.
keep telling you, man. Everybody does.
uh, yeah. Well,
Everyone looks at reference.
Jim Lee doesn't. He's awesome.
Jim Lee does too. He doesn't
I know,
need
but
to anymore, but he
He, d-
does.
he doesn't
still.
need to because he's not on the things he's already invented. There.
This is pretty much the same thing, but I was trying to ink it. I am not an inker, so it's pretty much
Cool.
this the same thing. I obviously went for an elf instead of an Elysian, but pretty much the same thing.
Andrew using Manga Studio. Derek would be so happy.
Yeah, this one actually I got from my boss, one of them, because one of my shops currently I'm the assistant of a comic artist.
Oh,
I
nice.
clean up the pages and all, and well, but I don't get to draw, so I'm here.
But still, you're
How do you assist on the pages?
I clean them up, scan them. You have to realize he's a 70-year-old, and he doesn't really get along with the computer.
Ah.
So
he does a lot of the
yeah,
grunt
pretty
work.
much. Yeah,
So you digitally clean them up?
yeah.
Do
I
you
can't
ink
show
it?
you the bad. Huh?
Are you inking them?
No.
No.
So
no.
you clean them up and
No,
hand
that's
them off
all
to an inker and a
traditional
color.
work. Excuse me, I didn't catch that.
So you clean them up and then pass them off to whoever's going to ink and drop color.
He does his own ink.
Oh, he does his own ink.
He
Okay.
does. Yeah, he does all the traditional work, and then I pretty much scan them, clean them, and pass them to a colorist.
Nice.
I don't know exactly what all that is. Are you like erasing underlines or something?
Yeah,
Well,
just getting rid of the smashes of pencil and every thing that might have a
might have transferred onto paper.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And well, if I catch any mistakes, I let him know.
Well, that's cool.
Well,
That's
you may not be drawing, dude, but you're not working in a factory at it either. So it's a good
Yeah.
place.
Well,
Good
it's-
place to start.
how'd you land that job?
Actually, just chatting because I used to work at a video store,
Hmm.
renting movies. I learned by my boss that a client was looking for people to do that job. Since he knew I draw, he
Ah,
sent me that.
that's cool.
And he was an employee. But yeah, this is pretty much the process I use.
Nice. Well,
That is stellar work.
yeah,
I love it.
very much. Please get both of those into the Dropbox for people. And
Sure.
I'm just so happy I spotted that.
Just I also did this one, and most of these ones are made in a period of 24 hours. Uh, I just got my member sponsorship uh, 2 days ago.
Dude, very nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This one, I was watching a video. You were talking about a mage, like a magister or something. I don't quite remember, but I left you talking in the background, and I started drawing. So
Ah, nice.
before
Yeah,
I come up.
right, for the comic, yeah.
Dude, very good eye, man.
Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I mean, I have a lot of old stuff, but
Yeah. No, no,
yeah, this
that's
is
a lot of work for
what
this
I
week.
did for
Good
you.
job.
Yeah, that's good for. We're gonna need a little more next week.
So I pretty much made the same mistake that Wolf did.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yep. You
yeah.
certainly
We're
have.
expecting a
In
lot.
fact,
I was gonna
You,
say,
you may
yeah,
have made it a
Wolf.
bit larger than Wolf did.
Right. You might want to. You might want to have. You might have been better off starting off with a pew pew guy.
yeah. Now you have to understand. These, for example, are made with no reference, and these are. I've been drawing for a long time, and
Yeah.
yeah, they have proportion issues and all, but this I can put up pretty fast. So
Well, and that
that's
goes
why I
back.
have.
That goes back to even when you see good artists draw and they're not using reference, they are. They're just using the reference they've collected in their head over years.
Yeah, memory
Yeah,
reference.
Yeah, you end up building
the
a mental
yeah
library,
visual
so to
Right.
library.
speak.
See,
That's
I
it.
haven't done that yet. You know, I haven't. That's one of the things I need to work on, so I can do that.
Well, that's why I told you before. Just if you have 10 minutes that you don't have anything to do, just collect reference
Yeah, I do.
just from the internet, and this is really useful when you don't have access to it,
Right.
but you've seen these pictures, and yeah,
Yeah, I collect a lot of references. I
Nice.
bet you have more, but I'm working on it,
yeah, and this
especially as things come up.
yeah, I just wish I had my PC running. This is my laptop. My PC crashed, and
That sucks.
yeah, I'm working on a really small monitor in comparison. I don't have my second monitor, and I already miss it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. When I took this job, I actually had to go out and get a really huge screen because a couple weeks in, I was like, I'm going to be blind in 3 months at this rate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no,
Well,
man, outstanding work.
yeah.
You have unfortunately set a standard for yourself.
crap.
We're sorry about that, but
We're very impressed and jealous.
And we want to see more.
and everyone will see it because Nelson's not recording it tonight. I am, so it'll actually be up on the site in a couple days.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
snap.
Oops. Well, this is pretty much it. I didn't knew the type of guns, and especially I didn't knew how much time has passed since
The
humans
videos you're
arrived
watching?
on this
Oh,
place.
uh,
So
You know, I don't think we ever actually decided how long they'd been
well,
there, but it
I
wasn't
don't know.
terribly long.
Well, as far as the storyline, what I was thinking was that if we're dealing with the point where it's like first contact, it would be the first couple of years.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
I think what we were we were thinking that it was at least 50 years. There's chance to get settling
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be enough time to have those kind of borderland communities
Yeah,
and
to
stuff.
Borderland things, and kind of develop their own culture. The way I saw it is, what I wanted is that there to be humans that are old enough to. So I mean, I guess it could be. I guess it could be. I guess it was at least 30 years because I want it to be that where, but like 30 to 50 probably because I want people there's still to be people that remember Earth, and then there's young people at least that were born on Alethean, and that they are in their own right
Alethean,
Alethians,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I could work with that.
But, because that way you can develop their own kind of unique uh, outline outskirts culture and stuff, and you can get kind of thing. You can get a more lived in environment rather than everything just new, like everything's just you know put up. Although I think there would still be cities where um, and places like the military and stuff where it'll look shiny.
Yeah.
And the humans came all by ship, right?
Yeah, by ship.
Yep, by
Yeah.
ship, using a series of jump points, so it would have taken some amount of time for them to get there. People would still be coming there from Earth.
Well, essentially the idea was that there's the one ship that made that long haul out to that planet, and they started building a jump gate when they got there. So, as far as new people coming in, doesn't take as long. But
But they haven't been there so
uh,
long that there aren't still new people coming in.
exactly, yeah.
Uh,
So like, there's still new people coming in through the jump gate that was built, and it allows them to basically access that system much more readily with much less danger.
so
But
basically, they send some kind of scout, and then all the people went through the portal, the gate.
exactly, anyone else comes through that jump point that he built when he got there.
Still by
Oh,
ship, but
Yes.
so
Yeah,
there are
it's
also ships. All right.
yeah,
yeah.
basically that jump gate is at the outer edge of the system, so it's not interfering with any other planets or any of that kind of stuff. And you have
Right.
still quite a ways to go before you get to the planet.
You're just going through a wormhole where you're not instantly teleporting there. You're just getting there faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eh,
Yeah, mostly because of design. I wanted to know, for example, in I believe one of the videos I saw, I don't remember if it was, but there was something like a wrecked ship, maybe.
A crashed ship?
Yeah.
oh, that was one of Miguel's drawings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that wasn't story based. He just had the. I don't know why we were talking
It
about
wasn't,
it,
yeah.
well, it
but
was.
we
It
were
wasn't
talking about how they. I think the concept was not so much that necessarily um, it had to crash, but like it. I mean, I guess it was in his concept it was damaged, but the main concept was that it was now either being lived in, and some of the parts for it were being used to build how kind of
Yeah, some of the borderland
kind of an
communities were
outskirt town.
dissecting it for parts,
Yeah,
basically.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Which I actually rather like that, so I was thinking of working that into the story.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. I was thinking like, for example, a ship, uh, like where I mean, it still will be the most fortified place to be.
Yeah.
So imagine a city around a disassembled ship, kind of. I was imagining that, and I really wanted to draw it, but
Well, now you got some things to work on.
yeah.
sure.
I remember we were talking there. I think I think both. I can't remember if Miguel did that on his own independently, or if it was because I think the week before I was talking about the concept of greenhouse kind of things where they'd have farms, but they would be enclosed
Well, yeah, that
because
was the
our crops couldn't grow in Alethean environments. So
yeah, that was his original one didn't have that.
yeah,
And that was just something he did off the top of his head.
really
And
because
then when we talked about it, you were talking about the farms and stuff, and then he did another one that had that big dome, and then
oh
one side of it had the kind of still crashed ship. So yeah, he'd done actually done two different versions. And the original one looked more like a almost like just a thrown together fort. Like they'd grab pieces
hmm
to create walls, and he didn't. He
hmm
he had a I think he had a spot in the corner where they were just farming like a garden,
oh
and
okay
then you were
Yep.
like, well, Alethea might not
yeah
support growing that stuff, and then we
right,
got off on the dome, and so yeah, I think
right.
you remember in the second
Well,
drawing he did actually.
yeah. Well, because the concept was that they both that they might not support it, and also it could be like Alethians don't want that intermixing and taking over
Oh yeah,
to
yeah,
risk that taking over their own
invasive
stuff.
species.
So yeah, invasive species, right? So because of that, that was all, and I just thought that would be a cool look to uh, towns.
Sorry, I just opened the wrong program.
Oh, got to kill Illustrator.
Yeah.
Do you just have all these, or are you working with the cloud now?
No, I just have them. I mean, since this one were given to me,
Ah, nice.
uh, I don't have the licenses. I mean, I didn't bought the programs, so I don't know how much I can do with them.
Gotcha.
In all honesty,
Well, at least in terms of this class, what you're doing is just personal work for free, so you're safe.
yeah.
Yeah, Photoshop CC Creative Cloud. I just had to go back and redo all of my photo stuff, shop stuff for Macs because the commands aren't the same for them anymore. Really ticked me off.
Wait, you had what?
The
You
stuff
had
the
to.
stuff I was showing for creating textures in CS6,
Uh-huh. It doesn't
those
work anymore.
commands don't work in CC.
Oh,
So I had to go
ridiculous.
back and figure out how to do it a way that would work in both. And yeah, I was like, oh.
Yeah,
But what am I going to do? Release a tutorial that the newest version
right,
doesn't work in? So
right.
good old
Or the
Adobe.
only, I mean, you're uh, not in a good place either way because if you do one that only the newest
Yeah, I
version
mean,
of
not
it,
everybody's
it's not going to help a lot.
got the
Yeah,
cloud subscription. So, but I guess in the end, it's good. I ended up figuring out a way to do it that works across the board. So. Nice. Yeah, if you want to work on some more environment ideas that are kind of deserty, if you want to do a little color with these guys, that would be cool for next week.
Sure.
And I don't know. You said you're only like what 2 hours off Central Time here? It's 9:40 here.
It's 11:40
Yeah,
here.
so 2 hours. Um, I don't know if it'll go for sure yet because Nelson is on. Well, he's praying to the porcelain god right now, but
Oh dear.
Friday night at what would be 9 o'clock your time. Hopefully, we'll be
Mhm.
testing the MMO framework. I don't know what you got going on, but if you're available, come up a little bit
Yeah,
before then
I probably will be
with
working.
work. That's unfortunate.
Uh, yeah,
Well, that's too
Steve,
bad.
I trust that my soldier will be up and running, animated, um, rigged and animated on Friday.
On Friday of somewhere in 2015. Yeah, I'm willing to commit to that.
Steve, I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. You can do it.
If I weren't trying to knock out these classes, I would maybe commit to having one modeled by next week and learning
Yeah.
the
I was gonna say
program.
this sounds familiar.
Let's see if it'll surprise us.
Yeah, never used either one of those, so we'll
Yeah,
see. We'll
so
see how far I get.
it's a long especially animation. Jeez.
Yeah, I can absolutely guarantee that that'll be a ways out before it's rigged and animated, but
I mean, it's
maybe
just
sculpted.
rigging. What?
Maybe sculpted in a week or two. We'll see how
Yeah,
it goes.
right. But
Yeah, I've never done animation before, so I wouldn't know in what kind of problem you're uh, getting into.
Well, I just got ZBrush, so I'm planning on sculpting it in that. But as far as the 3D program, it'll probably be 3ds Max. And I've done some just regular animating in Max. I have not used the cat system, which I suspect I want to.
I'm inclined to agree.
According to the tutorials, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I just from what I've seen
I've
of it,
never
it
seen
looks like
much,
it
but
makes it a lot easier. So
Sergio, what 3D anime or 3D program do you use? 3D model in?
I use ZBrush and 3D Max.
3D Max.
Yeah, mostly for retopologizing and that kind of stuff because I did a few, let me see, car modeling stuff, but yeah, not much my thing, let's say.
you're more of a 2D guy, right?
These were made for a contest on DeviantArt.
Nice.
Um,
Cool.
but yeah, the thing is that at some point I screw all the pivot points. I did, I mirrored everything, so yeah, it was a mess. You couldn't use this in an animation even if you wanted to.
But the render looks pretty
Uh,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
mostly I use it for this. This is actually made in ZBrush, and uh, I brought it down in 3D in Max. Yeah.
Nice. Sergio, you got some talent, sir. You've worked.
Actually,
Huh.
yeah, I'm used to it. This is the current model of that character because I'm continuing to do them whenever I have the time because, well, this is the story I wanted to make, and yeah, that's
Well, if you have the time, I'd love to see that pew pew guy in all modeled out in ZBrush. Awesome.
we'll see. We'll
We'll
see.
see what happens. Yeah.
If you have the time.
Definitely hang on to some of those ship ideas, though. Those could come up in the not too distant future.
I believe I still have the
4 years from
models
now.
if you want them.
Yeah. Well, you could create a folder in
Yeah,
Dropbox and drop the Max files in there, and yeah, says both I and Richard use
and
Max. So and
and then it will
That's
be
fine.
your nightmare.
then it'll be my nightmare.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we won't just look at it and kind of redo it, but
That reminds me, Sergio, I still need your email in Basnet.
Oh, yeah.
definitely got to get you set up.
It's pretty much simple.
Perfect.
Richard is Lance, right?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. I was
Yeah, I got to tell you,
98%
I
sure.
would love to have a thing on 3D Buzz that says when you create your sign in, it has to have some semblance to your real name so that I can remember who everybody is.
Well, it's fine. I mean, uh, it's fine, but it's just confusing when we go back and forth like
Yeah,
this.
it's
If you just stick to one or the other, it's just what
yeah,
I do.
I'm one of those guys that if everybody was a number, I'd be fine. But
Right.
it takes me weeks and weeks to get everybody's name, and then I look at a screen, I'm like, I don't remember who's who here,
Yeah.
which is sad when I'm so many of you I'm talking to outside of class too, and then I'm fine. It's like, oh, Richard's on, and then I get in here, I'm like, who the hell's Lance? Oh yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll play around with some color and maybe some environments. I think Sergio has injected some nice fresh blood into us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I had to mute to cough again. And on that note, I think we'll close out class and look at next week. And I'm gonna go take some stuff for my throat.
All right, good deal.
All right, guys. Have a great week,
Okay.
Sergio.
Yeah,
It is
good
awesome
class.
to have you here. Yeah, this was a. In fact, I'll be posting to Facebook and Buzz shortly. Here, this was a great class. Thanks for
Right,
joining
we
us. You
haven't had
did
one
some.
this good in a while.
Yeah, we really haven't. I,
Yeah.
I I hate that we have to say that, but I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Right.
now that we get to say that. So,
Right.
It's
Exactly.
been there, but yeah, now it's like, all right, this is what we were going for.
yep,
Uh,
absolutely. So, absolute pleasure, Sergio. I'm glad you're with us, and I'll look forward to seeing everybody next week.
yeah.
Yeah. See
Agreed.
ya.
We'll see
All
you then.
right, take care, guys.
Okay. Bye.